shift, bass hit, neck snap, true talk, no fluff, heat rise, act up, snap tight, step clean, eyes lock, scene mean, just Jackson guest. Feel that beat drop, chest pump, don't stop, just Jackson guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson guest. Just Jackson guest. Just Jackson guest. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom 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 boom.
Mind flip, spine stiff, word cut, gift shift, talk slick, move quick, clock tick, don't blink.
Just Jackson guest. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Just Jackson guest. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom.
More love with backbone, more safety, full grown, more respect when it's earned, more clients return, more stacks, more flow, more peace that we grow, more health in the grind, more wealth in the mind, more cheers from the crowd, more strong women loud, more work that you feel, more power made real. Yeah, just Jackson guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson guest. Just Jackson guest. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom, boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom.
Kick bounce, hi-hat, run, shoulders roll, sun up, baseline, waistline, heat rise, no decline. Just Jackson guest. Boom shakalaka boom 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 boom. More love with backbone, more sun, boom boom. When the go, when the sun, more run, when the turn, more stacks, more flow, more blast in the turn, more just no pin, more shit. More stacks in the crowd, more strong, more loud, more work that you feel, more power made breathe.
Yeah, more drive, no style, more rise, stand tall, more force, no fear, more shit this year, yeah.
Just Jackson guest.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka.
We did it. It's another Monday. It is May 11th. Some of you guys, it is already Tuesday morning. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here. Oh, I got two amazing guests. These ladies are phenomenal. And I want you, if you're already in the house, I want you guys to drop who you think is going to be the first guest on stage. It's kind of like my new little game I'm playing with everybody, because people used to think I did it by alphabet, by whose picture was on the top or whose name was first. And I want to see what you guys think it is. But I got to give a shout out to both of these ladies because, first of all, they're amazing. They're unique. You're going to love them. Second of all, they have bonded so much since they were put together on this event page, supporting each other, loving each other's comments. They were so sweet in the backstage area. I'm like, if more people could be as sweet as they are to each other with never knowing each other before, the world would be a much better place. Speaking of better places, I've got some happy news to share in just a few minutes, but I do have a little bit of sadness to share. The world is hurting. We know that a lot. We had a really bad situation this weekend in my hometown. We had a prom after party that we actually had people shot at. And not only did they shoot at people and multiple people went to the hospital, some people tried to run and flee and it was on a busy road. And I believe 2 people actually got hit by cars. And these are all young humans. Guys, we have to do better. We have to learn how to communicate. We have to learn how to love. We have to put down weapons. We have to actually lean into our differences and figure out how to connect with other people, because life is short. Life is super short. Do you see what I have here? I don't know if Mr. Bill Hobbs is in the house yet. I was on his podcast a couple weeks ago, and so he shipped me his little cup. And his podcast is on Spotify. He does post links on his page. So go to Bill Hobbs, How Do I Get My Life Back? And it's all about re-entry. It's so cool. I was so honored to be his guest. I was so thankful for that. Guys, we have so many awesome people already ready to hear Molly and Stacy. We're going to get them going in a minute, but I got a couple more announcements. Thank you guys so much for being here. I see Martha, I see Kinga, I see Lisa. Oh my gosh, Christy's here. We have Damien's here, Noni's here, Chasen's here, Gregory's here, and of course Stacy and Molly are here. Anne's here. Anne is going to be a guest soon. I'm so excited. Oh, Bill is here. Bill, did you see my cup? Did your cup? We have Bill Rochelle, who did my amazing intro. And if you stick around for the outro, you'll get to hear that as well. Mr. Kenny Dunner, of course, is here, which is amazing. I love when he sends me a reminder to my own show. Melanie, I missed your show today, but I'm sending you so much love for your mama. Life is tough for a lot of people right now. And if you were with us on, well, let's not get there quite yet. And David, thank you for always being first in the house. I appreciate you so much. I apologize if I don't get to everybody's names. Sometimes I am just a little bit too falling all over the way. So if I miss you, I do apologize about that. But I want to wrap up a few things really quick so I can get these beautiful guests on stage. So did you guys put what you wanted? I see a few Stacy's. Did I see anybody saying Molly's going to go first? I saw Stacy twice at least. Maybe I missed anything. So Mother's Day was yesterday. Guys, sometimes Mother's Day is the most fun holiday for a female, and sometimes it is so filled with sadness. And sometimes it's tough for men as well if they've lost their mom or if they have different issues with their spouse or former spouse or anything like that. And so I just want to give you guys a little smile real quick and show you my babies. This was us yesterday. Guys, my son is like a monster tall. Like I am, yes, that short. My daughter is also taller than me, but look how amazing they are, because some of you guys have been watching Just Jacks and Guests the whole time. I've been doing this over a year. And so you knew in August, my son was in a horrible motorcycle accident. Look at him. He's amazing. He will be scarred for the rest of his life. He's got all this stuff going on, but he is a rock star. He is doing so many cool things. So I wanted to show you guys that, because a lot of you guys ask me, how are your kids doing? How's everything going? They are amazing, and I love them so much, so very much. But I know that Mother's Day is tough for a lot of people. So if you are struggling, please know you are not the only one, and there's a lot of support. We have an amazing friend called Josette that is an absolute example of how a mother is not always the best person for people, and that happens to a lot of people. So if you could go to her page, Josette, she is doing 2 GoFundMe's right now, 2 different a documentary and a film that she is doing. And one is about her relationship with her mother, and then one is about being unhoused with a PhD. And so any support you could give her would be super amazing. I also want you to lock in every single Monday night. We do Just Jacks and Guests, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. I am booked. I'm already booking into July. If you want to be a guest and you haven't been on the show yet and you want to come on and talk about anything under the sun, as long as you're being respectful, you need to reach out to me. I am excited to highlight other people, because when we talk about diversity, when we hear from people from other cities, states, countries, the world becomes a better place. And I appreciate you guys. Also mark down Wednesday, May 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Damien Kinsey and I will be back with Wishful Wednesday. If you've never heard of Wishful Wednesday, it is all about sending your wishes out to the world to get support from other people, to be able to, oh, there's Josette right there. Josette is, I can never pronounce her last name as beautifully as she can, so I just avoid it, but go to her page if you want to check out her movies, okay? But Damien Kinsey and I will be doing Wishful Wednesday, where you can either come on stage with us on video or just microphone and share what your wish is. Do you want somebody to book a spot with you? Do you need help with food? Do you want to get more followers? Do you want people to come to a live show? Do you want prayers for your dog? Whatever you want, that's your time to kind of highlight yourself or what your needs are. It can be something like written in the comments, or if you don't want people to associate your name with it, you can even send Damien a message and say that you want it said anonymously. When your wishes, your hopes, your dreams are said out loud, there's a better chance the right person is going to hear that and help you with it. So that's why we do that show. And then I want to give you my good news, and then we're going to get the first guest up. Have you guys guessed yet? Do you think it's Molly? Do you think it's Stacy coming up? I still got a minute to see who you guys are going to pick. Some of you guys know I've been in the process of trying to be a living kidney donor, and I started this process the end of October. So it has not been a quick little thing. Last Wishful Wednesday, so we always do Wishful Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month when we're able to do it. Some months we're not able to do it. So it was April 30th, like a week and a half ago. It was a rough day for me. Some of you guys couldn't tell, but I had been just sobbing my eyes out 2 minutes before we went on camera. And then I made a post about it, I believe, the day after. Everything went so good I had a full day at the kidney transplant center. They got all my test results back. I had a CT, I had an EKG. On top of all the other tests I've been having for months, I got to meet with the surgeon, the dietitian, the social worker, the nephrologist, all kinds of great people. And they loved everything they saw. They said everything was great, except the CT showed that I had a spot on my right kidney. So when they do kidney donations, they tend to give the left kidney to the donor or the recipient because the arteries are longer and it's easier for them to attach it. The right kidney stays with the person that's donating. And so my right kidney had a spot. And at first they said it was a tiny kidney stone that would not interfere with the transplant. It wouldn't be an issue or anything like that. And then I had an hour drive home from the appointment and I got a message halfway through that it actually wasn't a kidney stone, it was a lesion. And so those of you that are familiar with the word lesion, it is a terrifying word. And if you look it up in Google or you search it, it is either a cyst or it's a benign or malignant tumor. Which of course would totally knock out my chances of donating. And then what would it do to my life? So they scheduled an MRI and I went in for the MRI yesterday. I was terrified to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I am claustrophobic. I am not used to having to do medical tests. And that was a big deal for me. And then I kept thinking about what other people go through and how I needed to stop being so childish. And I went through the little machine and I was so worried that I wasn't breathing and holding my breath the right way, that they were going to not find the right information. But I got my message today. They do not need me to redo it. So I must have held my breath the right way. And it's a cyst. It is not a tumor of any kind, guys. It is like huge weight off my shoulders, huge weight off my family's shoulders, huge weight off the the recipient shoulders. So guys, when things are tough, when you are struggling, please know you are not alone. People that show really happy pictures and things like everything's going perfect in their world, they might be struggling way more than you know. I kept this from a lot of people because I didn't want them to worry for no reason. But the people that I did share this with, I can't thank you guys enough for being there for me. So thank you all. Okay, I have talked way too much. I am ready. Did you guys decide? Did you guys decide who it's going to be? These ladies, literally, we actually spun a wheel to see who would go first, and then they still were trying to be too gracious to each other. So I am ready to bring up our first guest. So if you all put the beautiful Molly as the first guest, you guys are right. I am ready to bring her up. Are you guys ready to see how amazing she is? Here she comes. Hello.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for having me on the show tonight.
Thank you for being here. So guys, I'm going to out Molly a minute. This is her first time on StreamYard. Can y'all give her some loving because she is here and she is willing to share, and you guys want to know this woman. You want to know her. How are you doing tonight, Molly?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And also, I can't respond to the comments. So hi, everybody. I'm reading them all, though, but hi.
I know it's so frustrating. It's like you could see them and you just want to write them and then it's just not able to do it. So yeah. Molly, I'm going to ask you the 3 questions I ask every guest the first time they're on the show. And then we're going to let you just go on and share what you want to share because you've got some amazing stuff. Keep in mind, you only need to share what you want to share, though. But right now, I want to know, and so do our guests, because we've got amazing people in the house listening to you, wanting to learn about you. Tell us 2 things in your life that you are super proud of that you've accomplished or you've done.
Oh, gosh. So I have 2 things right off the bat that I'm absolutely super proud of, and that would be my 2 children. I am very, very proud that they are around, and I absolutely just love them to death. But personally, what I would be 2 things I'm proud of is 1, Lord willing, a week from tomorrow, I will be celebrating 8 years clean and sober. So that is something I'm very proud of. Took me a long time to get there. And then I'm proud of the work I do. I stand up for people. I'm absolutely an advocate for those that are coming out of incarceration and people who are coming out of recovery. And that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud to be able to stand next to them and be able to walk the journey with them.
You know, your energy, Molly, like that's what people need that are going through additional life struggles, whether it's incarceration, whether it's recovery, whether it's family issues, whether it's past traumas. you're not the type that is, I mean, literally, we've never met on Zoom before. This is our first time interacting other than before the show started. It's like your energy is just infectious. And I love that. And that's what people need. They don't need these stern faces and you got to do what I did to be successful, just like I did. So I'm so proud of you for picking that.
Thank you.
And of course your kids, I mean, some people, they don't have the best relationship with their kiddos, but you deserve to be proud of them no matter what their journeys are, because being a mother is no joke.
It's hard. And it doesn't get better when they get older either. You're like, why?
Right. I know you got to look up to your son and you're like, you're riding a motorcycle and you want to do it again after you were in the hospital for 2 weeks. You know, it's like, how can they do that?
Okay, I'm just going to shut my phone off and act like none of this is happening. Right.
I know, I love it. And you know, you have so much to be proud of. We were talking backstage. We were talking about 8 days of sobriety is huge. 8 weeks, 8 months, so huge. I mean, people that don't understand what addiction is really like, they tend to judge, or they're just like, just stop it. Don't you want to about it? No, it's so much different. It's so much brain activity that's impacted. It's not just your, not wanting to do it or doing it. So you've accomplished more than so many people, almost 8 years.
It's crazy.
You are an executive director, girl. I mean, that's no joke, because that's what my day job is, and it is no joke. It is not just hanging out with the people and making them feel better. It is doing the paperwork and trying to find the money and trying to supervise and all the crap that you don't think about.
Yep.
You do so many great things, but we have to keep growing. We have to keep learning. Is there something you're willing to share with the audience on something you're working on for yourself?
Absolutely. So something I've learned over the course of time is that I have a very big heart. And I wear my heart on my sleeve and I want to give everyone the world. But one thing that I've learned in my journey of 8 years is I can't do it for other people. I wish that I could, but it's not a possible thing. So something I'm working on now is telling them about how I worked my journey. I never force anybody else to do it my way, but this is how I did it. And let me maybe guide you in it and then give them the control to be able to do it. And that can be very hard to do when I just want to be like, fix it. You know, because I'm naturally a fixer. And I think that that's just something that I've been very good at. But I want to make sure I'm giving people the autonomy to be authentically themselves and not someone else.
I love that so much. I was having this conversation earlier today with a friend of mine about, he was using the example of like a butterfly doesn't want or can't survive if somebody just cuts it out of its cocoon. It's got to work their little muscles to work that out so it can actually fly. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to learn. And I was like thinking about, you know, how much do we help versus how much is that enabling versus how much is it needed as support? So the fact that you picked that tonight while we were just talking about that, it's an important balance, and it may look different between you and this person versus you and this person, or you and this staff versus this client. And that's okay, as long as you are not I was told this as a very baby social worker, don't work harder than your clients. Well, I got into this field to work hard. Because it wasn't for the pay, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. And I hope as you grow, you realize that other people are watching you, and knowing that they don't have to sacrifice themselves to help other people either, that they can help other people with still being able to take care of themselves and being there for other people. I love that you picked that. Okay, last question, and then I'll turn it over to you. If you could go anywhere in the world right now, it doesn't matter about work or anything like that, where would you travel to?
Ooh, I would go to Italy. I really want to see overseas. I've never been over there, so I would like to see Paris and Italy and Nice, and just look at the history of, you know, the things that we see, some of the 7 wonders of the world, and just, I love beauty. I love to see how other cultures live, and that's where I'd go.
I love that. I love that so much. You deserve to see the world. You really do, because you are working your butt off for so many things. And I hope you get to experience all of those. So Molly, this is the time of the show. You get to talk about whatever you want to share with the audience. I'll try to watch the comments in case there's a cool question or something that pops up. But then I know you're going to go back into the chat later and check things out if there's anybody that wants more information from you. But now is your time to shine, my dear. Go ahead and take the stage and let us hear what you want to share about yourself.
Well, thank you again, Jackie. I really appreciate it. Gosh, I don't know. So I'm going to give you a short version of where I am today, but I spent 3 years in Indiana Women's Prison when I was 39, so not all that long ago. I've been home 5 years now from prison, and the night that I got clean the night before I got arrested. I was looking for a rehab to go to, and 8 years ago, finding a rehab was a lot harder than what it is now to do, and I couldn't find one. So when I got arrested, I remember very clearly thinking, thank God this is over. And I was like, whew. So I knew at that moment I was probably going to go to prison. I mean, I didn't have any violent crimes, things like that, but I just thought, I've kind of been running amok for a while. And I got to prison. I got sentenced to 7 years in prison. I did everything that I could do inside of prison to change my life. I will never forget when I walked into the intake and there were all these people in orange, and I looked around and I thought, yeah, whatever I got to do to change my life, I'm going to do it. I took everything that they offered me. I went to every class they offered me. I did every program. I went through a computer coding program inside. When I came home, I was like, I modified out after almost 3 years because the judge said I was doing really well. And so I continued to do well. I went and did everything different when I came home. I was like, I'm not going to go home and live, in my old hometown. I'm going to go to a sober living. And I did that. I did that for a year. And then I moved to California for 3 years, worked a job that I absolutely loved. And it was amazing. I was like, what is happening? Not a life I had ever lived before. I moved back to Indiana last year in April because my daughter got married and I wanted to be closer, to her just because she has a baby, because my first grandbaby. So I was like, yeah, I got to do that. And I had lost the job at the nonprofit that I was at, and I was devastated. I had been there for 4 years. I didn't know what I was going to do. I worked a lot in the criminal justice reform. And that is where my passion lies, is helping people that are coming after me out of incarceration, and then also obviously in recovery. And this job opened up at the Upper Room Recovery Community, and I seen it on LinkedIn. I knew what it was, but I didn't know anything about the people that were hiring. I actually thought it was a homeless shelter until I started reading about it, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is a recovery place. So I applied for the job. I got the job, and I love what I do. I get to every day work with people who are struggling, which doesn't sound like a happy thing, but struggling with being in recovery. Everywhere from 1 day clean to a year and a half clean to 5 years clean. We're a small nonprofit. There's only 6 of us on staff. I run the Upper Room Recovery Community, which is sober living that holds 42 men and women inside of the building at any time. That's our maximum amount, and we are always full and we're always on a wait list. Then I also run the Recovery Center. So that is right next door. It's open to the public, and we bring people in and they can get to treatment if they want to get to treatment. They can go to groups. We have groups all day long. It's really just to show people that you can do this. Life after incarceration and addiction is absolutely worth it. It's so good. And now we're currently in the process of opening the Bridge Resource Center, which is where we're going to let people come in and fill out applications for jobs. So we're going to help them tell stories. We're going to help them bring in outside financial literacy and the health department to do free health screening, and do all the things that I wish somebody would have been there to do with me when I was getting clean. Because I think that if I can walk along someone else and show them that this path is worth it, everything I do that's it. It's all worth it. I don't know what else to say. I absolutely love it. I get to see people come in and they say, I'll tell you a small story. I brought a man back up from Kansas to Indiana. He called me, don't know this person at all, at the Upper Room. And he said, I need help. If I don't get it, I'm going to die. I'm on fentanyl. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. Called a few people. We made a few connections. We got him up here on a bus. He went to treatment for 28 days and he just celebrated his 8 months clean. And it was, there's our 8 again, Jackie. Yeah. But he just celebrated that. And that was a moment that I was like, this is worth it. I mean, and it's hard. It's hard work. There's not enough money in nonprofit, not enough money to continue to run businesses. But if we help one person get clean and stay clean or sober, I don't care. The money will come. Yeah. So That's it. Anyway, I can answer any questions. I don't know. It's kind of short and sweet, Jackie.
Oh, you are so great. You are so great. So Anne wants to know if you're comfortable sharing this. When you work with people that have addiction, how many of them focus on some of their childhood wounds, or they'll be willing to share that something did happen in their wounds? Because a lot of people think people only get involved in drugs or alcohol addiction because they had a trauma or something, which to me is not always what I see. But do you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, so it's not always what I see either. But I would say more often than not, it is due to some sort of traumatic experience that they've had in their life. And it does usually stem from some form of childhood, from what I've seen. I've had people come in and they've had horrific childhoods. And it's just like you kind of wonder how they're ever going to get to that next part. But you have to deal with those inner demons. Now, me personally, I didn't have a bad childhood. I don't have bad parents. My dad left when I was little, so it was a little bit different. I had that abandonment thing, but my mom was a superwoman and I didn't have, the horrific things that happen. And I didn't start using drugs until I was almost 24. So I was like old in the game, like 24, but I was. But yes, to answer your question, and I do see people that once they get comfortable and after they've been there for a little bit, then they will really open up about like what happened. I have one person in particular, and I don't want to share like too much because it's her story, but she was trafficked, and she went through hell, to say the least. And when she was very young when it happened. And so now she's living with us, and we've gotten her into therapy, and we're getting her into groups, and she's opening up more, and we're starting to deal with what those real deep issues are that keep driving people to go back to drugs or alcohol.
That's so huge. And, for me, I work with a lot of people that have addiction in the past, or they've sold drugs, and that's not always the same person. It's not always the people selling that are using, the users have sold, but sometimes it goes hand in hand. But one of the things that we don't focus enough on is the success stories, because yes, a lot of times when they have had traumatic experiences in their life, it's harder to come out of that. However, we know a lot of people that they never planned on using any kind of a drug, and then they went and they got an injury from playing sports, or they got their wisdom teeth pulled out and they got a whole bottle of medication. And that might be a different type of getting off versus not. But what are some of the successes that you could share to give some people hope? Like, don't give us, anything that's,
Right.
too much detail from your people, but like something so people can realize that how much hope there is for people, or what might work for somebody that might not work for anybody else. Would you share some of that?
Absolutely. So there's multiple ways of recovery to start. I mean, there's not always just abstinence is not the only way to do it. Not just, the meeting rooms, NA, AA, Celebrate Recovery. There are so many forms of recovery. You see success when someone starts to believe in themselves. And usually that takes some time, or to really be able to look themselves in the mirror and say, I'm okay with who I am. Maybe not love, maybe not like, but just okay. And that's when true success starts to happen. When someone says, I'm all right with where I was, and this is who I am now, and this is what I'm working towards. And you kind of see people's light come back on. And it is rewarding in so many ways, because people will come in and they're like, Molly, I got a job. It's their first job ever. And they're like 34 and they're like working at McDonald's. And I'm like, yes, a job, and maybe it's not their job forever, but it shows them that they're worth moving forward. So yeah, I see a ton. I could tell you so many stories of people coming back after they've, graduated from our program. And I've only been there 9 months, and I've already had a few graduate, and they come back and they say, if it wasn't for you and what you all did, I don't know that I'd still be here. Because we don't pour into how they should do it. We pour into the person. Let me show you like what you're worth, because that's where it's going to matter. Because that's really what addiction boils down to, other than being a disease, is someone doesn't feel like they're worth having the life that they really are worth having.
Oh my gosh, so powerful. And relationships is key, whether it's reentry or recovery work, that relationship is key. I had somebody tell me in a training before, he said his drug of choice felt like his grandmother's hug to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just somebody that can't stop hanging out and doing stuff. It is an internal experience that some of us never have to experience. And that is a different way to go through the process and go through recovery than somebody that has been using for a different reason or something like that. And I just got to show you this comment real quick.
Okay.
Gregory says you don't look any older than 39.
I love you. I kind of want to comment on what you just said, Jackie, because I will say this: no one woke up, no person woke up, no matter what kind of what drug you're using or what it is that you're doing, if it's alcohol, if it's prescription pills, if it's the illicit stuff. But no one woke up when they were a child and said, "Hey, I want to be a drug addict or an alcoholic." That wasn't anybody's choice in life. And the thing about addiction that people, I don't know, I mean, nowadays people understand it a lot more than they ever did, is it will lie to you in your own voice. So as you are using drugs, you will I mean, the first time you use drugs, yes, it's a choice. Absolutely. I mean, you tried it. It is what it is. I was fully addicted within 2 weeks. Fully addicted. And had no idea what I was getting into. Now, keep in mind, it's been a lot of years ago, so we didn't talk about it as much, but I had no idea what I was getting into. And I was addicted so quickly. And I lost everything. And I don't mind sharing, I used meth and heroin, and didn't realize what it was doing to me until way later in time. And when it lies to you, your brain will literally tell you, if you do not do this drug, you will die. Mm-hmm. And you believe that. Yeah, and you believe it. And it takes recovery isn't just stopping a substance by any means. You can stop it all you want, but if you don't change the way you think and the way that you feel and who you're hanging around with, what you're doing, where you're going, it's not going to get any better. Because literally the opposite of addiction is connection. So the more that you connect, the more that you are involved in a community, and the more people that are pouring into you as much as they can, the more that you're going to start to see, oh, wow, maybe I'm worth it. Doesn't mean life's not hard. Doesn't mean that all of a sudden everything's perfect and, oh my goodness, the bells and whistles are going off. Nope. Life is hard, very hard for anyone, addicted, not addicted. Everyone goes through struggles, but you can have two truths at one time. Life can be very hard and you can still have joy.
I love everything you shared. Like, you couldn't have said it better for people, especially that are outside of the recovery world, or they think it's only those people that aren't strong enough, or only those people that are hanging around the wrong people, or they're born in the wrong area or something like that. I appreciate so much that you were willing to share how quick your addiction turned to full addiction. I think a lot of people don't realize how quick addiction happens and how accessible drugs are, even to people that don't live in certain communities, or they don't know somebody that currently sells drugs, or where you would get drugs on the street, how quickly that changes. But the thing that is so powerful that you said, and I want to make sure that everybody heard this very clearly, it's not, oh, I have nothing better to do than getting high, or, oh, I really want to get drunk or under the influence, or I want to get this weird feeling go through my body. It's literally the brain screaming, saying you're going to die if you don't have this. And if you've never had any form of addiction, whether it's food addiction, gambling addiction, sex addiction, any kind of drug or alcohol, you can't quite understand that need, that pull. And Molly, I can't thank you enough for being vulnerable and sharing that, but more than anything for doing this work. You could just walk away, and you could literally walk into any lifestyle you want and say, hey, nobody even needs to know about my past. They don't need to know I was incarcerated. They don't need to know what I did, what I lost, anything. You could just literally fit into a room and just say whoever you wanted to be. You're willing to walk the walk, and that is so powerful. You are the one that is going to make an impact, not on just those people coming to your building, but the people that they impact as well. So please don't ever forget that. I could keep you on stage forever, but we got to get Miss Stacy up here because she's going to drop some knowledge too. It has been such a pleasure. Again, seeing the way you two have connected over this, it reminds me just how powerful that word connection really is, and being connected with other humans. I mean, guys, I got to tell you, this is my 9th show of the day. I actually had the day off because I had a feeling I'd get my test results today, and I didn't want to be at work if I heard bad news. This is my 9th show. And then William Rochelle is doing his wind down as soon as I get off the air, about 10 o'clock, maybe a couple minutes after he does his wind down on Monday nights. That will be my 10th show of the day. Oh, it's connection though. If I had nothing scheduled for today because it was my day off. And like I said, I didn't know how my response would be if I heard bad news about my kidney test. And I wanted to be surrounded by people that could either teach me something or could connect with me. And you and Stacy connecting has really lifted me up, seeing that just because nobody has ever asked who's the other guest that I'm going to be on stage with that night. And so you don't even know until I literally made that event last week. And now you two are just like acting like you guys know each other's whole life stories. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I was supposed to know some of this.
Thank you, Jackie. I want to leave the audience with one thing before we go.
Please.
If you ever have the big idea that you want to see what it's like to be an addict, turn your phone up where you can see it for 24 hours and don't touch it, not one time.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the same idea of what it's like. But I can't wait to hear Stacy. So
I can't either. Molly, you were amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to try to remove you. And if you disappear, that's fine. If you guys want to stay around after the show, we can chat for a minute, but I do want to jump into Bill's show. So otherwise we can all connect again soon. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I just removed you and then I brought her back. I did that last week to Duke. What am I doing these days? The buttons, I tell you. Okay. Can you feel that energy? I mean, humans are amazing, no matter the way they respond, no matter the way they talk, the way they do different things. But I tell you, watching Molly, doesn't it make you want to just go sign up and work at a recovery center? Because that is what we need to see. We need to see people pouring into the work that they do. I know people that are business owners that don't have that much passion for the work they're doing, and they created what they were doing. We deserve to enjoy this one life we have and to do it with pleasure, to do it with fun, to do it with excitement. Yeah, we got to pay the bills, and sometimes we don't get that lovely job that we want right away. But if you can enjoy what you're doing, the chances that that good stuff is going to be coming your way so much sooner. And so when we bring up Stacy, she's going to talk about some of her shifts in jobs and all that kind of stuff. But before I bring her up, she pulled her Pokemon card for us right before we went live. And it was so fitting and so telling. So I want to make sure that she has a second to talk about that too. So those of you that picked Stacy as going first, y'all were wrong this time. But she could have been first because the little wheel she spun actually said she was supposed to go first. But you guys are here. You guys are ready for her. I'm ready for her. Here she comes. Hello.
Hey, everybody. I'm so fired up and excited to be here. Thanks for having me. But wow, having to go on after Molly. Let's give it up for Molly. What an amazing talk. Everybody.
Her first time on one of these. Didn't she look like a natural?
Very natural. Yep. Molly, you got a second career on this. You got this.
I love it so much. I love it so much. Your guys' support has just been incredible, like I said. Before we get into your 3 questions, do you want to share your Pokemon card and why we were so excited? Is that something you want to share with the big group, or did you want to keep it just with the 3?
Sure.
Okay.
So this is a Pokemon card. Pokemon is a game, and I'll get into that in my thing, but this one is water. And water to me is about feelings and emotions. And the context was, how are we going to answer these questions? And both of us really were just kind of like, we're kind of going with our gut and our instinct. And I thought this was a really good validation to go with the flow. And I love that it's kind of like a comet. So it's like super impactful. So if you go with the flow, you're gonna make an impact. And just looking at the comments lighting up, we are making an impact tonight. And hi, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Yeah.
I love it so much. And if you caught it in my intro that Bill Rochelle made for me, there's a comment at the end. There is a comment, and then the card had a comment in it. That was pretty cool. I never connected that when you pulled it up the first time until you just said that. Stacy, I'm so glad to have you here. I appreciate you. I see you popping up in so many different areas. And then we were finally like, when are you going to come to stage? And you're like, that's past my bedtime. And look at you, wide awake and beautiful and willing to go second and finish out the show for everybody. I'm so thankful you're here.
Thank you.
So it's time to ask you those 3 questions I ask every single person when they're a guest the very first time. So your first question is, tell us 2 things you are proud of yourself for.
Okay, 2 things I'm proud of myself for. One kind of goes in the Wayback Machine, but I am proud of it, was recording 2 reggae singles a few years ago. Yeah, one of my friends, my aunt had a dream, and she's like, I had a dream and you need to work with my son on something. And then he called me and said, hey, we're working on this thing. Do you want to be one of the featured? And I'm like, okay. And this was also way past my bedtime. But so I did two reggae singles and I actually get my little residuals from it. I was shocked. I'm like, what's this? I'm like, oh my gosh, people have actually been listening.
Oh,
So I was pretty excited about that. So I'm proud of myself for that. The other thing I'm proud of myself for is taking a leap, getting out of my comfort zone and leaning into being a chief play officer. Um, that's part of the history, but I'm really proud of myself for making a go of this and leaning into that entrepreneurship life. It's terrifying, not for the faint of heart, everybody, but I feel that there's so many good and amazing people rooting for me that it's almost like when we talk about recovering from addiction and recovering from, you know, things that aren't necessarily aligned with who we are, then it's important to take that leap. And I mean, I had a great experience where I used to work, but I don't think it was fully aligned with all that I've been passionate about my entire life. So I'm proud of myself for taking this leap into this foray. Yeah, got to catch them all.
I love that so much. I love that you acknowledge that because yes, it's terrifying, but you did it and you were able to do it. And Anne wants to know what a chief play officer is, and I'm sure you're going to talk about that after our questions. So,
Yeah.
because I mean, I think we all want that title because it sounds pretty doggone cool. But the fact that you shared that you dropped reggae singles, holy crap! I never expected you to share that. That's amazing. I'm like, I want to listen to it now. So if you have time, if you can put a link, if it's on YouTube or something, make sure you go back and put those links. We want to jam to your reggae now.
Okay,
I
that's the
I
link.
think it is the coolest thing when little questions like this get me to see something new about a person that I wouldn't expect or anything. I just think that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
So
welcome.
even though you have worked kind of corporate you've got your own business, you've done reggae, you get a residual, you've done all these cool things. Is there something you're willing to share that you are still growing or learning in right now?
Oh, so many things, so many things. Learning bookkeeping. I made my own P&L statements. My accountant said, "Good job." I have just leaped substitute teaching. I'm doing that because that's interesting and it also helps me understand the kids that I'm dealing with. So I survived middle school. Like they're actually not that bad. I actually don't mind teaching middle school. Dreadlocks, where did I put those? Not everybody in Jamaica has dreadlocks. Thank you very much. But I'm definitely growing into confidence. I think
Mhm.
that's been the biggest obstacle is me not believing in myself. And I'm getting so much better at that because I'm really good at what I do. And the people around me are like, wow, you're really growing in confidence and you just light up when you talk about the things that you're excited about. So guys, if you're out there or team, I try to not use gendered language. If you're out there and you're scared and you're trying to do something, do it anyway. Do it
Mhm.
scared. There's no perfect time, there's no best time. The moon and stars aren't going to align. Do something. And if you don't like it, I got this from Michael Whitehouse. If you don't like the results, do something different. But don't give up and just keep trying.
Mhm. I love that so much. Thank you for saying that, Stacy. And I I'm not going to do my piano by myself, okay? So I'll give you a lot of credit, girl. Good job. Okay, if you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
The UK. All my newest friends are in the UK. I
Mhm.
have every morning we say good morning on on the Telegram app. There's so many amazing people there. I have family there and I would love to really it's for the people. I don't care about the place. I'm motivated by people. So I go to the UK. No Italy. I'm not team Italy today. All my friends have gone to Italy. I'll go to the UK to see my friends. That's my travel dream right now.
I love that, and I hope you get there soon. So, I don't know if you know this about me, but I have traveled to all 50 states, and I have made it a point when I did travel to some of the states to go specifically to meet some of my LinkedIn contacts. I'm somewhere around 270, 75 LinkedIn contacts I have met since I started getting active on LinkedIn about 2021. So you deserve to meet those contacts. It's going to be amazing. I mean, because they're friends. Just because you haven't physically met them yet, they're friends. They're more than just a contact, a follower, or something like that. So I can't wait till you get to meet them. But Stacy, it is your turn to take over the stage. Tell us in a few minutes what you want to share with the audience, who you are, what you do, what in the heck a play officer or chief play officer is, and anything else you want to share. Take it away.
Okay, so I'll start with the chief play officer because that was a question. So that's a perk of running your own business is you get to name your title. And play is such a vital and important part to my business that I wanted to be the chief play officer. Honestly, this may change because I'm still a little feeling a little weird about the word chief, but I mean, you have chief executive officer, chief
Mhm.
financial officer, etc. But just because that's how it is doesn't mean that's how it needs to be. But play is such an integral part of what I do that I thought that would be a fun title. It's provocative, and but it is exactly what I do. I'm a big advocate for play. So how did I get here? I have 5 kids, and I was never getting married and never having kids. And my mom said, "It's okay if you don't have kids." I'm a parent coach, and Wax 372. I mean I work with anybody, but I'm passionate about parenting since I've survived and thrived in it. But basically, parents of elementary school kids who are stuck or overwhelmed. But a lot of the things that apply to parents apply to people who are stuck and overwhelmed. So basically, I help people mainly to put that oxygen mask on first. That's the main thing. Let's learn to calm down because if we are not regulated, we're not going to be a good example and make those decisions for our kids. But it's the same thing in corporate America. If you are not emotionally regulated and in a good headspace, you're going to hurt people. You're going to say snippy things. You're going to be sarcastic, and you're going to not have those good relationships that make a business or a family work well. Yeah, so you put on, and if you don't put on the oxygen mask, you will fall and you will pass out. So that's why it's important to put on that oxygen mask first. So I have been in corporate America for several years, and my background was actually Lean Six Sigma. And as a mom of 5 kids, I was very overwhelmed. I made all the wrong decisions. So I have failed. So you can learn from my fails. My kids will tell you, making me call them me making them call me Mrs. Cass because that's what I learned. So when we talked about addiction and what we learned from our childhood, that carries over in how we raise our kids, how we treat people, and that carries over in the workplace relationship. I don't remember where I saw this, but if you think of everybody as an 8-year-old wallflower, a lot of things just make a lot more sense. So I applied these things to my life, and I at one point had 5 kids going to 4 different schools, and we had to empower them to make decisions because we were driving each other crazy. I would check the homework thing and say, "Hey, this is an F. What's happening here?" Like, "Mom, she hasn't graded it yet." "Mom, you're driving us insane." And I said, "Okay, here's the deal. School is your job. My job is to support you. So you are going to do your job and I will support you, but we have a set expectations." And teaching them problem solving skills, letting them kind of flip the script. "So how did you do on your report card?" And they rose to that expectation. So when I tell people I have 5 kids, they're like, "We didn't know you had 5 kids," because I'm not having to micromanage them because I empowered them to know how to solve their own problems, to take initiative and be proactive about their life. So if I see my 16-year-old now just lounging on the couch, I'm like, "Don't you have to shower first?" Like, I shower at 7:30. They have their own routine set up. They have their own schedules. They reverse engineer it, and we just show up to support, which is a lot easier on me as a parent. So where does the Pokemon come in? This was when Twitter was Twitter, somebody had posted a challenge on doing something with Pokemon cards. So I do use tarot in my work as well, but I'm not a fortune teller. It is not woo woo. It is about symbology, symbolism, and tapping into your subconscious through play. So people like Pokemon cards because they're fun. And for a lot of my clients, they're not gendered. So they kind of can oh wow, we have the rescue stretcher because I just pulled one to see what happens. And I did that, and they were surprisingly insightful to the situation. They just helped us tap into an undercurrent that we didn't know that we needed to know. So I think a lot of the things that we're dealing with are the unknown unknowns. I never thought I would quote Donald Rumsfeld in a billion years, but that quote has stick with me. There's the things you know that you don't know, and the things that you don't know that you don't know. And those are the things that get us. Those are the hidden systems and undercurrents. And that's where I lean into that Lean Six Sigma background, because we need to get to the root cause. A lot of times we are dealing with the symptoms. And part of those symptoms is we have not given ourselves the time to understand what is happening. So that's the work that I do, is help people to calm down, and then we tackle physical spaces and mental spaces, because our environment is an indication of our mental space, and back and forth. So practically I might help people with what we call 5S organization, but it's not about Pinterest perfection. It's helping you create an environment that you can kind of start to see the bigger picture of what is happening in your life, and get down to those root cause of why are we in this situation? How are we getting to this situation? Yeah, the undercurrents are always with us. In the Pokemon world, there's a card called the Dark Energy card. It's a crescent moon, but really that is about tapping into those undercurrents. When you're navigating your home life, it's learning how to read the room, learning how to read these kids. When you see someone not acting their normal self, I had a kid today when I was substitute teaching, and they were angry because they had to come back to this class, and I said, hey, I know you're angry. And if you want to, be separate, that's totally fine, but we're going to do a fun activity. And by just validating that, yeah, you're this is disappointing, this sucks, I'm not happy here, he said, I'll give it a try. You know,
Oh,
and so we made like this group art project on the board, and that's what it is. So where does play come into this? I was so shocked at how triggered people are by play. They think it's something frivolous. They think they're wasting time. I think that's kind of tied into this relentless drive for productivity. But when do your best ideas come to you? It's never at the office. It is when you're on a walk, it's when you're in the shower, it's when you're talking to somebody. And that's where it comes in. I see a question from my favorite reggae singer. Oh gosh, there's so many. I really don't love the word favorite, Gregory. I that's something about me. I don't love faves. It's what's in the moment. So I do love Bob Marley. That's kind of an OG, but I love oh my god, Barris Hammond and Barrington. Oh gosh, what's his last name? Anyway, Barrington. That's his first name. He does To Experience and things like that, and I love his style because it is very there's kind of like, I guess, Jamaican yodeling. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not yodeling, but there's a whoa yeah, and it's just fun. He scats a lot, so that's my favorite reggae singers, and I like our covers of other artists, like gosh, is it Foxy Brown? She covered Tracy Chapman's "Sorry," and you would not know that that was a Tracy Chapman song. So I love the covers out
oh,
there.
I
Yeah, and
love
so
this so
seeing,
much.
in the comments that their best ideas come up during mundane things, and I think we can take joy in the mundane because it took so many things for us to be here. When we're talking about even, being a kidney donor, there's so many, as you're discovering, so many things that had to happen. A, just for you to be born and to be a person that would consider doing that. And now, when we're going to donate the kidney, are you a good blood match? Are you the right, do you have the right, I don't know, health scores? I don't know, kidney
All
donation.
the
I'm
things.
not a doctor. All
You're
the
doing good.
Yeah, all the things. And when somebody gets that, we take it for granted. Somebody like Tracy Chapman writing Fast Car, that was such a mind-blowing song because it's a slice of life. Here is what it's like to be in poverty. And she wrote about it in such a poetic and beautiful way. And this is so many people's lives, and we take it for granted, the extraordinary lives that people are living in quiet desperation out there. I'm just totally stealing that from Pink Floyd. But we take all these things for granted. And being somebody that I'm a junior gardener, I no longer say I have a black thumb. I actually am growing 3 peppers, and they are turning red. So I'm so excited about that. Never have I ever thought I would be able to pluck things from my garden. Like, normally my gardening is Lord of the Flies. Like, hey, are you guys going to survive today? It's Cutthroat Island on my garden. So things are actually blooming. But I think part of that is an outward reflection of my confidence blooming, of the connections that were out there, and allowing myself to be vulnerable and to be held and supported by the people in my life and my community, and also giving back to that community. Molly and I are good villagers. If you give back, that empowers you to feel that you can do something and make a difference.
I love that so much. So if you, well, first of all, I love that you are so focused on words and how words do have meanings and can take different responses to people, like even the word favorite. I have that same feeling with the word expert. When somebody tries to call me an expert in certain subjects, I'm like, nope, that's not me. That's not me. I want to learn every day and I want to learn more about that subject. So I love that about you. But I want to get back to what you call yourself, the chief play officer. A lot of us, as we get older, we forget that we deserve to have fun. We forget that even during the workday, there's times that we could be doing something that just stimulates that response as either what it was like when we were a kid or what we wish it would have been like as a kid. Do you have like a word of wisdom for anybody that might not have a lot of um, time to have fun? What could they add just one time in their day to just make something a little bit happier or to give their brain a break from the hustle, hustle, hustle? Let's play something. Is there something that you could encourage us to do?
I would have a emergency bubbles on your desk, because when you go outside and blow bubbles, or if you just run to the bathroom and blow bubbles, the act of blowing bubbles, you're blowing out through your mouth, and that stimulates your vagus nerve. Yes, David, time to color. You can just draw circles on your desk. Circles are very relaxing. Just grab a piece of paper and draw circles, or just scribble, try and do a self portrait, or draw your neighbor. Like, they might look at you weird, but make a meme. I made a meme of my coworker. I can't even talk about it. I laughed for a solid 20 minutes. Like, I was waiting for them to drug test me because it was so ridiculous. And I mean, I'm still laughing at it now. I just listened to an NPR podcast, and there was one, sing your feelings, put your feelings to a song. So
Mm.
just take a song you love, and if you're angry, you can say, I'm angry. I don't even know a song right now. I'm working late, so I'm really angry. And you just come up with these silly songs to songs that you like. And so there's so many ways to integrate fun. It doesn't take a lot of time. You can make a calm down bingo, just doing things that make you happy. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Just taking those 3 deep breaths. Everybody on the call with me, let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in, exhale. And this last one, breathe in love, and exhale all the negativity, allowing yourself to sink in. So, how does that feel?
Oh, good. You are the first person that's had me actually focus on my breathing during my own show. Thank you for doing that. Stacey, what's something you want to leave everybody with after you just relaxed us with remembering to you do bubbles or circles or just take that time for breath? What's one more thing you want to leave the show? Because it goes by so fast.
Yeah, it does.
So
You're enough. That's the one thing I want to leave you with is you are enough. You deserve that time. You deserve calm. It's okay to take a breath. The world is not going to fall apart without you. We're not that important. I mean, we are important to people we love, but honestly, really and truly, that is our ego talking that we think we're the only one that can do things. There's plenty of people around that can do things. Nobody can do it like you, and that's why you're enough and you're amazing. But give yourself the break. Put on your oxygen mask. That's what I would leave you with.
I love that so much, Stacey. Thank you for being a guest. Thank you for getting to know Molly. You two supporting each other just warms my heart so much. She did put in our private chat that she wanted to cheer you on. You were doing amazing. She couldn't actually write in the show, so she wanted to send you her love too. So thank you so much, Stacey. It was a joy having you here. We got to connect, and I think we need to celebrate on Molly's 8-year official anniversary too. You take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Why does the hour go so fast, guys? Oh, that was amazing. Like, I knew they were going to be great, but I had never met with either of them, never done a phone call, never done a Zoom. You got to meet them in real time, the same time as me, and that is so great. The world is a better place when we get to know people, guys. I am not going to take much more time wrapping up the show because William Rochelle does a wind down 3 nights a week, and one of those nights is Monday. And I want you to take time to jump into his show real quick. Don't tell me you don't have time. His show will be my 10th show of the day, even for 3 minutes. Get through his intro song, listen to his voice for a minute, listen to the positivity. This man is not having an easy time right now, and he's willing to take time for us to relax. Plus, he did my outro, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to roll that now. Let's see each other next week. Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to love the guests that I have then too. They're very cool. One I don't know at all. One I've known as long as I've been on LinkedIn, basically. I can't wait to bring them to the stage for you next week. Take care. We are going to end the show with my outro. Join William Rochelle's show. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose just jacks and guests. Jackie Hallberg has left the building. The category is prison reform. Prison reform. The category is diversity. The category is women's rights. Thank you for joining. We appreciate your company. Thank you for coming through. Just jacks and guests. The category is equal rights. The category is inclusivity. The category is second chances. We appreciate your company. Thank you for coming through. Jacks and guests. The category is just jacks and guests. Just jacks and guests. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate your company. Just thank you